Hi, I'm Amy McGuffin, CEO of Kittitas County Chamber of Commerce, and we are hitting the road to see one of our local chamber members. Hello and welcome to Chamber on the Road. We're here at Gallery 1 and I am joined by Monica Miller, Executive Director, and we're excited to be here, Monica. It looks like we've caught you in transition. And so as this Chamber on the Road has worked out, we kind of check in with you, see how everything's going and what you're doing to bring people into your gallery and what kind of things you're embarking on.
Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with our fellow chamber members and the World Wide Web everything that we're doing right now. I think it's symbolic that you're here during this transition. In a way, we've been transitioning for the past 4 months now what we do for our community and working to sort of pivot our access to the arts, which is our main intention here is to provide access to the visual arts for our community in Central Washington. And how that is translating now has grown, hopefully to incorporate a wider audience, but also to be more intimate with our Central Washington members and residents. Though we're in this space now, the main floor are actually 3 stories. So we have 3 levels here that is usually full of art and people. And over the past 4 months, we've focused on trying to stay in front of those people in various ways. In addition to putting our in-person exhibits online, which you can find at gallery-1.org, we've also been really innovative. I'm really proud of what we've done in terms of putting our learning opportunities online as well. So we've been experimenting with online learning in our classes. In fact, we've had some pretty good success having classes that used to be in our ceramic studio, which is a pretty messy medium in people's homes. We've been doing something called hand building from home online, but we've also had some really great luck putting some of our other events, like the wine tasting that we did. We put that online as well, and now we're formatting our classes for kids into art kits. And hopefully you'll get a chance to see some of those because they're so cute and so far they've been really well received.
Well, I think it's really important to mention about your innovativeness, but at the same time you're collaborating within the communities, because I know you've had a lot of collaboration with different organizations throughout the county in order to provide these kits that are county-wide. So can you tell us a little bit about that kit availability and how a person that's seeing this video would request it?
Sure. So when we first shut down, it was during the end of our school year, and one of our priorities here at the organization is to be a partner in learning in the arts with schools. And we were devastated to have had that, our access to our youth kind of taken away so suddenly. So we worked with the Suncadia Fund for Community Enhancement and the Shoemaker Foundation and the Robert B. McMillan Foundation to create these 500 art-to-go kits, we call them, and delivering them to the kids in the schools. So that was so well received that we decided that we would package those so that members in our community could have individual access to those. So now we've sort of specialized them and chosen a variety of different medium that people can choose what they want to play with. So we've got ceramics, fiber, drawing, paper mache, and jewelry making.
And that's all available on your website?
It is available to see on our website, but because we have right now such a limited edition, they can be picked up and purchased here in this space 12 to 4, Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and noon to 4 again on Sunday.
Oh, okay, so even on the weekend. So for those that may not not have caught all of that, but the kits are available for pickup here at Gallery 1. We're here in the Ellensburg Gallery, and you can check that out onto their website, which is again
gallery-1.org.
Wonderful. So with the COVID in mind, and you've made the transitions, what has that done for your artists? Are you sticking close to the regional artists, or are you still getting artists from outside of the area for people to view?
Pretty early on, we saw that the limitations that COVID was imposing on us would make it difficult to bring in artists from outside of the area. We started in April with a National Book Art Show that literally sat in boxes for an additional month because it took so long for the work to get here. So we looked ahead for the rest of the year and decided to focus on artists that choose to live and work in Kittitas County with the hopes of bringing those other artists back here in 2021. The flip side, well, kind of two flip sides, is that next year's schedule is pretty booked.
Nice.
But also we're getting a chance to really highlight and promote the artists that live here. We've done that a number of different ways. We did the virtual studio tours a couple of weekends ago where we interviewed artists who live here. So we've got interviews with local artists on our YouTube channel right now. They're also on Facebook, and we created an artist registry on our website where you can look more in depth and learn more about the artists in our community on our website. And another really cool thing that we were able to do is take 360 degree shots of their studios. So you can like go into Maria Cristalli, she's a blacksmith, and you can see her shop. You can see Sam Albright's shop, and really see like all of the nooks and crannies of their studios and get an insight into their art making process. So I would say that primarily we have had a great opportunity to learn more about the artists that are here, but we've also been able to transition our gift shop online that has a regional representation of artists from around the area and beyond.
Well, I like that because with the transition of COVID, you've been able to highlight the artists that are within the region. And just like anything else on Chamber on the Road, we really want to enjoy local, support local, and shop local. So this is one other way that we can support local businesses, even in an artistic point of view, because they are conducting business. So if you're interested in helping support those local businesses, please go to Gallery One's website. And obviously we know those are outside studios that we're supporting, and we do understand that you do have some artists that are in-house started artists, and that's usually on your third floor that they have their studios here. And I believe we're going to go and do some work with your resident artist. Is that correct?
That's right. So this upcoming exhibit is a way for us to showcase our newest ceramic artist in resident, Krista Ann Ames, who moved here from Montana, and you'll get a chance to see her in her ceramic studio, which is our community studio, also in just a few minutes. But her work will be opening this Friday, on the first Friday of the month, and we'll also have a newer artist, Carl Schmiesau, who just moved here as well. He'll be in this space. On the top floor, we have a local artist, Kimie Fujimoto. And in the hallway, we're featuring a CWU student, Laura Ventili, who was an intern here for us. So we've got, 4 awesome artists that you'll be able to see online, but also here in person beginning Saturday. But we'll launch that on Facebook with remarks. Actually, we're doing a really cool thing on Friday with the Climber and the 420 Loft Gallery. We're trying a progressive virtual art walk.
Nice.
So I will launch at 6 o'clock with remarks and introductions to the artists, and then we'll pass it over to Elise Warren at the Climber and invite people to go to her Facebook page, and she'll do a live remark, and then we'll move to 420 Loft Gallery.
Wow, some exciting things. So we're here again at Gallery 1 with Executive Director Monica Miller, and this is Chamber on the Road. Thank you for joining us, and watch for our introduction to the ceramic studio.
It's gonna be fun and messy.
Putting together the clay for some of our Art2Go clay kits. We are making a cup kit and a baby bun rabbit kit coming up, and we're just measuring out about 1.5 pounds, which is sort of marked here. I don't worry about it being perfectly exact, and then once we measure it, we're gonna wedge it, and I'll show you how to wedge clay, and then we make them into these little balls that get put in a plastic bag and put in the Art2Go kits. Okay. So I've just been like ripping or cutting off a little bit. I have this knife here if you need it.
Okay.
And then just putting it on here to see how close I'm getting. And that's about right there.
Okay.
And then I come over here and I wedge the clay. And I'm just, it's like kneading dough a little bit.
Okay.
Except we're trying to not get any air in it, so instead of folding it, you're pushing the clay into itself.
All right.
Yeah, and so I'm doing a spiral wedge right here, but you can start out with a ram's head wedge, which is like equal pressure from both hands. And we're just getting it so that the clay is nice and mixed up and ready for the kids to use. And then balling it up and setting it under here,
Okay.
so they don't dry out.
Okay.
And we make 40 of them.
All right. 40 of them.
Well, you don't have to, but I will today.
You will today.
Yeah.
All right. So we're doing 1.5 pounds.
Mhm.
See how well I listen here.
Yeah, that's good. You already got A+ on that part. It's a little too much. You want to be able to fit it in the sandwich Ziploc. That's perfect. It's a little.
Just a little.
Oh,
bit,
yeah.
Just in case.
Excellent.
Okay.
So nobody's missing clay.
All right. That would not be good.
You can wedge there if it's easier.
So I'm going to do the ram's head.
Yeah, and I'll do it with you so you can see. We're gonna.
Okay. So I'm not folding it because we don't want air.
Yeah, we're just kind of like picking it up and pushing it down into itself.
Okay.
And not as much spreading on the table, and see how I'm like cupping my hands around the edges.
Okay.
I'm kind of like sort of smushing the clay into itself.
All right. And what does this do? What properties does it create?
So wedging the clay sort of arranges all the platelets and particles together in the same motion,
Okay.
so that it's easier for building to prevent against like cracking. It's just kind of compressing those molecules, and then we can like put it on the wheel and throw with it, or you can like roll out a slab.
Okay.
But we're really like just getting it to be a little bit more homogeneous, since this is actually our reclaimed clay.
Okay.
So I take all of the scraps that everyone thinks are trash, and I put them in the bucket over there
Okay.
and add water, and then dry it back out and wedge it again. So sometimes people will throw a little bit of porcelain in there,
Okay.
so it's a little extra versus our in-house stoneware.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to see like in the clay, there's like a different color right there.
I see it.
So we're just trying to make sure that it gets all mixed together by wedging it.
Okay. So how long do you do the ram setting?
Just for like a minute or two, and then ball it. Just so that, you know, once you do it a lot, there's like a feeling. Like you're like, that feels like I'm not popping any more air bubbles, and it just feels nice and warmed up.
Okay. So the person that gets this, I'm sorry if you have cracking.
Oh, no.
You'll do it
They'll
over.
I'm sure it's perfect. And we're working with a wetter clay
Okay.
than I usually typically give someone if they're in-house here, just in case they have it like in their hot car.
Oh, I see.
You know, I just have like a softer clay that I'm handing out, so that
Okay.
no tears.
No tears.
We don't want to have tears.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
That's a great ball.
Ball.
Sphere.
spear.
Excellent.
I like it.
Awesome. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
And for those, please join gallery-1.org. Check out all of the art kits that they have to go. Thank you for joining us today on the Chamber on the Road. Join us every Friday on our Facebook page.